A monster producer is a legendary creature who combines multiple skill sets to dominate their market. Are you ready to dominate?
I believe everybody needs a good coach in life. Running a business can be tough. It can beat you down. We bring the motivation. We bring the structure. We bring the strategy. How do you explain your services? How do you work a selling system? How do you follow up like a machine? How do you extract 5.7 referrals from every transaction? Our number one goal is to get you a 43% increase in your business. And I want to show you how to be a monster producer.
I must confess that I feel like a monster.
Prepare yourself for a 43% increase to your business.
I feel like a monster.
Monster Producer
Ladies and gentlemen,
begins now.
Hey there, I'm Coach Michael Burt, the Super Coach, and every month I love breaking down concepts in Monster Producer for you. This is our big coaching program. I do this live every single month, but we also break this down into shorter segments for the online academy, also for a podcast that I push out. This month is one of my favorite topics and will change how you think about time. And it's called Blue Marlins versus Blue Gills. And I've got to set the stage for you because I was down in Florida with one of my good friends, Scott Nagy, who at 38 years old built a company and sold it for $12 million. He pocketed $3 or $4 million of that. He went down to Florida, bought 3 to 4 houses, lives off the income of those houses, and basically retired young and retired rich. I'm a grinder by nature. I push hard. I get up early. I stay late. And when I went down to Florida, I would have all these really deep conversations with Scott about business and building the central nervous system of a business. And Scott says to me one day out by the pool, a conversation I will never forget. He says, "Coach, you and I are both fishing. The difference is you're fishing for bluegill in the local lake. And I am fishing for blue marlin in the Gulf of Mexico." That one conversation created a change in me, created a thought process in me. And I started playing around with this concept of bluegill versus blue marlin. Okay? And that's what we're going to talk about today, is what is the difference between a bluegill and a blue marlin. So let me give you some tools to reinforce your high-value activity. A definition of a blue marlin could be a big prospect, right? It could be a big prospect you are trying to land or a big problem you are trying to solve. If money only changes hands when problems are solved, okay? If money only changes hands when problems are solved, you could solve a bigger problem. You could solve the same problem for a bigger person or a person who has more money. You could solve a problem for masses of people, or you could build something special that creates a cash machine that could be sold in the future. Now, let me make sure you understand this. Money changes hands when problems are solved. The bigger the problem, the more money people will pay to solve that problem. Therefore, solve a bigger problem, right? Land a bigger contract. Or you could solve the same problem for a bigger person. Or you could solve a problem for masses of people. Or you could build something that could be sold at some point in the future for a big payout. That's a blue marlin. Now, here's the problem with the rat race as I see it. We spend all of our time on small problems. This equals small payouts. The highest money earners in our society focus on solving real problems for either wealthy people or real problems for masses of people. Okay? Now, let me give you an example. I've become good friends with a guy named Chuck McDowell, who created the Wesley Financial Group that basically helps people get out of timeshares, bad timeshare deals. There's 12 million people in that niche. Many of them get into these deals only quickly wanting to get out of these deals, and they can't get out of them. Chuck McDowell sold timeshares for Wyndham, only to figure out it was a crooked operation from his perspective. He left that business and started helping a few people get out of their timeshares. And when he helped these three called back this person. And the next thing you know, all these people are calling him. He said, I've got a business here. That business turned into a $100 million business. Solves a very specific problem for a very specific niche group of people. This is so valuable for the monster producer to understand. Many of you don't know what problem you solved, and you don't know who you solve it for, and you don't know who would write you the largest check to solve that problem. So let me ask some questions in this section, and then we'll stop and let you think. These are the questions I want you to tackle right now. Are you a level 10 person stuck in a level 4 opportunity? Meaning you got a big engine, you're a stallion, but you caged up at the barn. You're wanting to run and you're locked up in the cage. Are you a level 10 guy stuck in a level 4 opportunity? Number 2, could you take your skill set to a much higher arena? See, when I was a basketball coach, I was making $60,000 a year, right? And I figured out I could take my same skill set to another arena and make $60,000 a month, maybe even $600,000 a month at some point. You follow what I'm saying? Multiples, okay? Number 3, what's the largest check you've ever cashed, and where did it come from? And number 4, where are you making the most money right now? Take a second right now and answer those questions. Hey, I'm Coach Michael Burt, the Super Coach. Just text Coach Burt to this number or that number to get weekly updates, where I'm going to be coaching, and strategies for you to play at a much higher frequency. We're talking bluegills or blue marlins. I hope you answered those questions. How do you identify bluegills? Here is the list I made. A bluegill's high maintenance. Oh, they're low profit margins. Your fun meter's on low. I had a coach once that made us wear a button that said fun meter, and it flipped over from high to low. Your fun meter's on low when you're dealing with these bluegills. They create the most drama for you. They're the least appreciative of you. They drain all of your energy. I want you to write out all the activities that you do in a day that are bluegill activities. You're busy, but you're not productive. You're caught up in a low value activity. Now, why in the world would you focus on bluegills? Here's the psychology behind it. Number 1, you don't believe you're worthy of more. You don't believe you're worthy of closing big blue marlin deals. You're projecting bluegill status with your actions, your outputs, or your person of interest score. Your primary skill is too weak to get the attention of a blue marlin. You can't build reputational capital to get in the door with the big boys and the big girls, or you won't invest the money to build a real enterprise. Like you're capped because of you, right? Your skill's not strong enough. You're not building any excess cash. You won't reinvest. Therefore, you're stuck at a ceiling, okay? Here's a shift in your mindset. Once you get in the ring with these blue marlins, these people that you think are big-time people, you quickly figure out that they're not any better than you are. You may not have a talent problem. You may have a confidence problem. Or you may have a marketing problem. Do you know how many times I've made that statement in my life? Like, you're real good, but you're not real known. It's like you're real good, but nobody knows it. The confidence comes from working that muscle. Now, let's refocus this by answering these questions. What's the biggest blue marlin you've ever landed? Why specifically did they hire you? What problem did you really solve for them? How much did they pay you? Why did you leave fishing from that pond? What's the biggest fish you've ever caught? Right? Why did they hire you? What problem did you solve? How much did they pay? And why haven't you gone back there again? Now, let's do a competitive analysis. Who is currently landing the blue marlins in your industry? What do they have that you don't have? Where do the blue marlins go? And how can you get in that arena? These are great questions, guys. Like don't gloss over these. Watch this and watch it again and watch it again and watch it again, because these questions are game changers for you, okay? Now, here's immediate disqualifiers. One of my favorite parts of this Blue Marlin. These are things that's going to knock you out of closing Blue Marlin deals right out of the get-go. Number one, you got low status that has been created by you. You're whiny. You're slow. You got poor communication. You got a bad book cover. Your reputation's bad. You can't articulate your value. You got commodity thinking. There's no differential. You got bad first impression. You're lazy. Your pitiful attitude, or your follow-up. Now, these are some bad traits. These are little bluegill traits. You got small towns and no dreams versus small towns and big dreams. Okay? You don't have a connectivity. Okay? And just remember this, what you are shouts so loudly, I cannot hear what you have to say. You're a baby seal versus a, right? You're a baby seal versus a Navy SEAL. Now, here's some immediate actions, and I want you to think about what you need to do. Number one, you need to upgrade your wardrobe and your confidence. Number two, you need to upgrade your perception value. Who are you associating with? What networks are you in? What skill sets do you have? These are status indicators. You need to identify two groups and start building. You need to identify a top 25 and start getting in bigger circles. Follow the money. Follow the money. Follow the money. You need to start drafting somebody real successful. Okay? And you need to be working the legacy selling system that we teach. Your hit list of who you're going after should consist of big Blue Marlins. You don't know if you don't ask. They may be looking for somebody just like you. Now, we come back in the final segment. We're going to challenge you to leave your amateur desires behind and go pro. But I want you to take some time right now, work on your hit list, answer the tough questions, and start asking yourself, what is disqualifying you from being in the arena?
My name is Christopher Argote, and I represent Trusted Senior Specialists. We flew in from Houston, Texas, all the way here, and we believe that Coach Bird is an amazing influence into your life. Everyone needs to have a coach in their life, guys. If you stop learning, just imagine putting that sign up in front of your desk. I stopped learning a long time ago. So I want to better serve my clients and my opportunities. So I think everyone needs a coach in their life, and Coach Bird has definitely activated my prey drive.
All right, Chapter 3 of this Monster Producer session this month is a great topic, how to catch blue marlins versus blue gills. It has to do with the size of problems that you're facing, that you're trying to solve for other people, where the big payouts are. And more than anything, I think blue marlin versus blue gill is about think. Your think's too small, right? Your think's too small. Therefore, you take small actions. So there's really one or two things I want to challenge you to do in this final session. Is number one, I want you to make a decision to go pro. There's a book out there called Go Pro, Do the Work, The War of Art by Stephen Pressfield. And in the book Go Pro, he makes a decision. The word decision means to kill off, to decide. Decide means to kill off. And he makes a simple decision to leave his amateur desires behind. That's bluegill thinking. I'm leaving my bluegill thinking behind, and I'm going blue marlin. I'm going pro. Okay? I have made this in all parts of my nature, my body, my mind, my heart, my spirit. You make a decision to go pro, and people are going to notice. You're going to become that person of interest. So as we close this down, I would ask you a simple question. What amateur desires do you need to leave behind? And you say, man, I'm amateur in my prospecting. I'm amateur with my explanation of service. I'm amateur with the selling system. I'm amateur with my follow-up. I'm amateur with my wardrobe. I'm amateur with how I treat myself. I'm a freaking amateur. And let me tell you something. Blue gills never attract blue marlins. It is time to make a decision, guys, to leave your amateur desires behind and go pro. I'm Coach Michael Burt. Every single month, I break down a big topic into a small topic. This is in a podcast called Monster Producer. It's also in our online academy, packaged up nicely for you to learn in an ongoing, systematic way. Let's help you go out there. Just this course alone has inspired me to think bigger. It's inspired me to take bigger action. And when I leave this podcast, I'm going to pick up the phone and call some big-time people. I'm Coach Michael Burt. Monster Producer is a legendary creature that combines multiple skills to dominate a market.
I came out to Coach Burt's boot camp because it's about growth. It's about growing yourself. Even though I'm a coach to few people, the coach needs a coach.
I really enjoyed the boot camp. I've been a part of Monster Producers for about 6 months now. Definitely increased my income, learned a lot. I recommend it to everybody.
I think everyone needs a coach in their life, and Coach Burt has definitely activated my pay drive. We believe that Coach Burt is an amazing influence into your life. Everyone needs to have a coach in their life, guys.
Since the time I started with Coach Burt, my practice is up on average about 67% a year. The last year was just over 99% as I finally took the time to fully implement everything. And so anybody that is really looking to get a boost or maybe feel like you've started to plateau in some way but want that little extra boost of energy or prey drive as Coach calls it, it's a great opportunity to either get down here in Tennessee in the lodge and spend some time with him, or hop on the coaching program and do it remotely like I do, and I'm pretty sure you're going to see the same increase we all are.